Welcome to the 290 Mo podcast. I appreciate your time. If you could introduce yourself to my viewers and listeners.
It's Robert Sykes, lead guitar player, music director for Urban Luxe, band leader of Black Harmonics, just overall musician. Coming to talk about some projects, talk about life, and just, shoot the breeze.
For real. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, I'm definitely glad you slid because that's what I do here. You know what I'm saying? I like to get as much as your full story as we can in this short amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind, we're going to start from the beginning. Where you from? Where you grew up?
East side of Chicago, kid from South Shore.
Well, what was your experiences like out in South Shore?
South Shore is a different place, man. Like it's the city, but it's international because we grew up with like American black people, Jamaicans, Haitians, Africans.
It's all there in South Shore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Right by the lake. So it's not, people always say like the east side is the south side. It's two different things.
Yeah, I learned that doing interviews on bro.
Like, because like the south side is so different. The east side is just a different vibe. The weather is kind of crazy. Like it's always extremely hot when it's the summertime. It's extremely cold in the wintertime. It's just a different culture.
Different breed down there. Okay. So early out in South Shore. What kind of things did you get into?
I was the only child, so I did a lot of baseball. I went to church as a kid. I was the only child, so like I did a lot of exploring by myself. Then I got into like music, took it serious when I was 20, and I just kind of went deep into that like 2014. Started my first band 2016, did a couple of blues festivals, moved away to Skokie, Evanston for like 3 years and came back like the.
Tell I moved away, man. That's 15 minutes away, man.
No,
I just talk shit.
Skokie is a completely different place.
For sure. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what was your parents doing? You know what I'm saying? What did they do for careers?
So my dad was an armed security officer. So my dad's like a real chill guy, but he's a real chill, low key. But when he was younger, because he had me when he was 40, so my dad was like, by the time like I was born, he had like mellowed out. My dad was like a party guy, had fun, told me stories, very just blunt, straight, transparency. Like my dad wasn't into like, you know how parents kind of BS you? They be like, don't smoke weed because this gonna happen. Like my dad actually tell you verbatim what's gonna happen. If you do this, you're gonna be like so-and-so, you're gonna go to jail. Then it's gonna happen like this, and that's what's gonna happen. So like he was just completely honest with everything.
Was that enough for you as a young man growing up? Was like that enough for you, or did you still have to like, you know what I'm saying, do things and learn on your own, or was parent OG word enough? You know what I'm saying?
That, and I was always good to learn from other people's mistakes. Like if I seen you do something stupid, I'm not finna go do it. So like when you're in South Shore, like you have to like, especially being an only kid, like you have to learn stuff fast because things happen fast. Like I went to high school, most of my friends had like kids by the time they was like 14, 15, 16. You know, people was living a very fast lifestyle. Things came fast. So by the time I got to college, I was acclimated to being an adult.
For sure, that's dope. Now, still early in life, you know what I'm saying? I know now it's music, but early, what was your aspirations? Was it always music? You know what I'm saying? I know you mentioned the sports. Did you want to be like major league? You know what I'm saying? What was your early aspirations when it was like, Robert, you could be anything you want to be? What was that early?
I really didn't know. Like I got into like, I was kind of like very nonchalant. I just really didn't focus on the things. So I got about like 15. I went to like a year of private school, and like my year of private school was like crappy because it was like the first time like being away like unsupervised. So like I bumped my head a lot, and then I got hyper.
So you ain't go to Mount Carmel, no? You went away.
I went to St. Francis de Sales for like, and it was like a culture shock because I went to like public school. It's like rules and structure. Like I'm not a rules and structure guy to where like just for discipline. So I remember one time I wear an earring. It was like, you got an earring in your ear. Go stand on the bus stop till you take it out. I'm like, take it out. So like little stuff like that. Then I went back to South Shore, and then I kind of got more focused. But I didn't want to become a professional musician because a lot of times as kids we tell people in our community we got a habit of saying like, ain't gonna make the money doing that. You don't really think about it. So I turned about 20. When I was playing college, I tore my MCL playing baseball. So like that was kind of off the table. I did retail at Family Dollar for 6 months, and I hated it.
In Chicago?
Yes.
I know you.
Broadway and Wilson.
Did they have to walk out with the Pampers on you?
See, I hated working there so much. Like, I would take it out on the clients that was still. I slammed somebody one time.
Oh yeah. I got a friend. He just recorded. It was like certain time they used to have to start locking the Pampers up, but they used to come like 10, 15 deep and just grab all the Pampers, and just walk out. And he used to just record it. I was like, bro, what the hell?
See, we had smart clucks. People still use the word clucks.
Hell yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, you on Cluck Capital right now. You down the street from Madison. It's Cluck Capital.
So like they wouldn't know who they could like hit a lick on. Yeah. So like if I was there, my homie was there, they was like, okay, we can't steal nothing right there. So they started knowing
right after you slam one of they.
So they started knowing the schedule. They like, okay, buddy leave at 5 o'clock. So we put all the toothpaste, all the batteries out. Come back the next day. Whole skew gone. That was the routine. So like they would get some stuff.
Now another thing, you know what I'm saying, I want to know, and I ask all the young brothers, you know what I'm saying, that grew up in these urban communities in inside Chicago. Do you feel like it was tough or easy, you know what I'm saying, just coming up as a young black man in Chicago? Like overall, what would you say your you know what I'm saying, outside of what your parents provided, just as a young man stepping out on the streets, how would you say your upbringing was? You know what I'm saying? Was it rough? Was it hard? What was it for you?
It's like, for me, I was blessed. I had good mentors. I consider myself to be extremely, extremely lucky. I didn't really notice the disparity till I moved to Skokie. And that's what kind of made me move back, because I would see certain stuff and resources that we don't have. Like, that's I'm a big promoter at the cafe having like live music. Because I would see like kids 5, 6, they are in bands up north. They got a garage. They have sports. They have good cleats. I see the high school field, like we played at Eckersall. Eckersall, not knocking it, but like I look at some of the amenities when we're in like Niles and like what's that, Bolingbrook? Like those stadiums look like,
yeah, for sure,
like minor league stadiums, and we got 5 schools sharing one stadium. So like that's what kind of made me notice in retrospect. But sometimes you get into it, becomes normal. Certain stuff you see, like, you know, as I kind of elevated in life, I went to college, you know. First day of college, I was looking for the metal detector. I'm like, okay, where's the metal detector? Because I was used to getting that morning pat down. I'm like, so I could just walk in? It's like, yeah, just walk in.
What's wrong with you, sir? Now, you know what I'm saying, let's talk about your college experience. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I talk to young brothers about, you know what I'm saying? Because I talk to a couple young brothers who got horror stories, you know what I'm saying? And I got one, he played football. He went to like a real prestigious school, and he experience wasn't so good, and he transferred to a HBCU. And he was like, man, I wish I would have went there from the jump, you know what I'm saying, this and that. So what was your college experience like, and what school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
I went to Robert Morris. So my college experience, I was still local. It's different. Like for me, college was,
man, I went to Job Corps, man. Go ahead, shit.
No, like it was different because like my college, my campus was downtown. So I had fun exploring downtown. Like my biggest mistake was in college, I was arrogant. Like it was easy when I first got there, because like when you grow up in the hood, like you gotta learn. It's hard to learn in the hood. That's why I think people who grow up in the hood, you gotta go to school. Ain't no heat on. Ain't got no AC. You gotta go through the metal detector.
People in the classroom.
Gang banging. You gotta don't walk this way. So I went to college. I'm like, I ain't gotta deal with none of that. It was easy. My second semester, I got big headed. Got put on academic probation. Had to straighten it out, and that tightened me back up. And then after that, it was smooth sailing. But you know, you start chasing girls, doing dumb stuff.
Is that what got you on academic probation, or was it just
chasing,
like partying and stuff, college shit?
I didn't drink and smoke in college. So I thought I knew everything because it was easy. So like the stupidest thing I did was, it was a test, digital test, and I aced the whole thing. And I thought I hit finish. It was 3 pages on that bad boy. So I got everything right and failed the test because I was arrogant.
Now, you know what I'm saying, with that type of attitude, were you ultimately able to complete, or did you, you know what I'm saying?
I completed.
Okay.
I mellowed out.
Mm-hmm.
I got together.
And what exactly did you go for? And looking back on it, would you do the college experience over again?
I went for pre-law. Would I do the whole thing again?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. No.
You said pre-law?
Yeah.
What type? What does that head into?
Like attorney. I wanted to join the CIA. That's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or the ATF. That was like my big goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was a goal, but like that, I wanted to like.
Why not? What happened? Why not?
I would have been working for Trump.
But it's always gonna be every 4 years. It's gonna be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're gonna have the same boss forever.
I couldn't imagine that. Like I'm putting my life on the risk with Cheeto Man over here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that was the whole thing. You was like, just I don't want to do that, but you ain't want to be like a Navy SEAL or no shit like that. Just
I mean, it was an aspiration. Like when I went to college, I should have had a more detailed plan. Like most people, we go to college. People like go to school to get a job and go to school, but the ATF was a long term goal. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. So ultimately, you know what I'm saying? We found our way settling down in music. Is that ultimately what happens, or what happens? You know what I'm saying, after college?
Music was always a thing. Remember, I was afraid to take that leap.
Well, was like introverted or something, or
I just thought like it wasn't feasible because you hear like all these horror stories of like you're gonna get strung out, you're gonna do this, and it's a party. Like,
I ain't never heard strung out, but I hear horror stories for sure. I hear that one,
and it do come with its stuff. But like, when I was working retail, I used to be like, man, I used to look at some of my coworkers that come from like, you look at people how they living. I'm like, how old is you? I'm 36. It ain't knocking nobody. I'm like, man, I don't want to be doing this when I'm 36.
for sure.
Like that's
for sure.
Started seeing, I had a coworker, her ankle was like, she tore a tendon in her ankle and she still had to work there because they didn't have no medical insurance. So she couldn't go to the back of the store. She was limping.
I got a coworker like that. He got like a fat leg. He like been there a long time, and we make good money, but it's like, bro, at some point, like the money ain't like they gonna have to cut that motherfucker off. Like he's be busting out his socks. It's crazy. It's just like,
I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, for sure. I understand that. So once you had that epiphany, you know what I'm saying, and what did you start dabbling with the music? Like, did you have stuff that you was, you know what I'm saying, doing solo on your own and you just brought it to the light, or how did that?
I was always playing. I never took it seriously. So I remember we used to do the trucks. You ever seen two people unload a whole truck in the morning time? Family, that's what we used to do. So family, two guys go out there, get up 4 o'clock in the morning, because we was on Broadway and Wilson. Get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, you unload a truck for 2 hours. They put the little roll thing, you unload it. Truck don't come, they send you home. So that happened like maybe 2 weeks in a row. And I was like, man, I'm tired of this. So I went to Guitar Center, bought the little light snake where you can start recording. Went and bought a Telecaster, and I just started recording stuff. So I just started doing, learning how to record the old-fashioned way, making mistakes, buying equipment. You know the process. Got good at it. 2015, really started experimenting. In 2016, me and my goddad hooked up, was my mentor. He started teaching me, like, you want to be in a band, this is what you got to do. And he would drill it into me. Like, by the time 2017 came in, I started MDing for people. So, like, I MD for this artist. It's my first time doing it. I'd already had the habits since old school was on me. So, it's like, you need to be on time. So, that evolved into that. Then 2018, I had like a pretty good stable day job. So, I started buying all the equipment I needed. 2019, I started playing with people like more my age, because people I was playing was like 50, 40, 60. And I got good at that. Then the pandemic happened. Then I just kind of shut it down, taught a little bit, focused on learning music from a theory point. And in the 2022, an artist came and called me like, you want to MD a project? I'm like, I was doing corporate. I'm like, I'll do it. Then I came.
Let me stop acting like I know what MD mean. What's MD?
Music director. So like, you pretty much glorified babysitter from time to time.
Okay.
Got to make sure everybody on time, know their parts. it just is all encompassing job.
And this is like you didn't go to school for none of this. This is all self taught.
People go to school with certain stuff. A lot of it's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to know, okay, we got to be here at this time, 2 hours. You have to know logistics. You have to know if this happens, if this breaks. You just have to kind of be in front of everything at all times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about you and your music. But before we talk about what you play and the music you play, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Well, let's talk about early coming up early. What did you listen to? What was being played in the household? What did OG play on the weekends, cleaning up the crib? You know what I'm saying? Who was you hanging posters up of? Shit like that.
So, Pop's 40 years older than me, so
for sure.
I didn't listen to I caught modern stuff. So like, I'm a 90s 2000s kid. So like, looking back on it, I grew up in like the golden era R&B, Jodeci, Case, Jagged Edge, Erykah Badu, D'Angelo. I'm listening to all that stuff on the radio and the newer style stuff. I'm also listening to a little bit of rap. Then I'm also getting my pop stuff. So I'm getting the Temptations, Psychedelic Shack. I'm getting the Manhattan, the Stylistics, Parliament, Earth, Wind and Fire. What else was I listening to?
So, you was getting some shit, bro.
So like, I'm getting all that stuff. I'm getting the modern stuff, neo soul, golden age of rap, hip hop. Then by the time I started turning 10, I started listening to like Kanye, Ludacris. 12, I'm listening to like Jeezy. Started playing guitar. So then I started going down Hendrix, Clapton, Rolling Stones, all that stuff. Then I started getting more into like heavy in the blues and jazz and stuff like that. So I was pretty much listening to everything.
For sure. Now, the guitar. No, I'm talking shit. The guitar. How you pronounce it? What's the best way?
It depends what region.
My girl actually has a guitar. She plays around with it, trying to like teach herself and stuff like that. But how do you pronounce it?
It depends what region you in. Okay. Guitar, axe.
Axe. I never heard that one.
People say
that's raw. That's raw. That's probably what I would call mine. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get into that, man. So why guitar? What made you pick that up?
I probably always wanted to. It's a funny story behind it. It's the Beatles' fault, which is like probably 90% of guitar players. So I didn't like.
Really? I hear Jimi Hendrix a lot. That's the first time I heard the Beatles.
No, the Beatles kind of kicked everything off as far as like American people seeing it. Hendrix is like the next thing. But like as a kid, I noticed like I would like pluck rubber bands and stuff like that. And I was probably always interested, but like I just thought guitar was extremely expensive. So the Beatles kind of came out, like they do a big relaunch every year to like make more money. So like, I didn't like trap music at first because I was like a super rap head when I liked rap. So like when I was 16, I just was listening to like Biggie,
Jay-Z,
Wu-Tang Clan. I was listening to like Poisonous Darts, Tupac, Illmatic, stuff like that. So when track came out, I was like, I didn't get it. I'm like, so I started dabbling because I had Apple Music. It was iTunes back then. So like,
definitely was.
The Beatles, I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I went to GameStop one day and I was like, remember Rock Band?
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask you if you play that. Well, I guess
I'd never played it because I was like.
Never still?
No. Because I was like, how much this cost? It was like $700. I'm like.
That must have been the guitar, the DJ kit, the drums.
I was like.
The Xbox.
I was like, man, I go buy a real guitar.
For sure.
So I asked my mom and I was like, you know, asking a black mom for something, you'd be like. She was like, okay. And that was it.
Right. Now, you know what I'm saying? Getting into the guitar, man. When you go on to buy your guitar, it's a whole bunch of different type of guitars. You know what I'm saying? I thought a bass was a guitar. So, you know what I'm saying?
So, octave.
So, thanks for letting me know. You know what I'm saying? So, when you went to like, all right, now I want to go, when you decide I want to do guitar, you know what I'm saying? You go grab it. How do you know, like, if you want to grab, like, my girl got the one that, like, you don't plug it in. It's like the big box. Like, how do you know if you want that one or the one they break on the stage or the banjo kazooie? Like, how do you know walking in, like, which one you want?
You talking about now or back then?
Yeah, back then.
So back then, it's funny. It's a West Side connection. My first guitar teacher was a guy named Joe Wilson. Rest in peace. He's from the West Side. He played for the church. He told my mom what to buy. So my first guitar, I had no input. It was the Squire Strat that everybody starts in, which is that was my thing.
Was it electric?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now when it comes to guitar, like that's a black hole
Mm-hmm.
of money. Like it's just I stopped myself.
That's
I
how.
stopped myself yesterday. I'm like, don't buy that. Cause you go through phases.
That's how I am with cameras. That shit.
It's like it's the same things. Like what lens do I want?
Mm-hmm.
What color do I want? Now, like the more I know now, it's really aesthetics, weight, what you want,
Aesthetics.
who's your hero, like what sound, because they have different pickups in them. So like single coils, humbuckers, EMGs,
Mm-hmm.
different. It's bad. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a bad. It's like shoe collecting. Like
Yeah, I
it's
see it.
people that's sick.
Then I'll be seeing the pedals too. I'll be seeing some pedals that look like
I'm not a pedal guy no more.
oh
I broke that habit.
oh yeah. I'll be seeing some sick shit on Amazon.
I'm a line six guy. So like I used to do the pedal thing, but like that is neuroticism within a nutshell. Cause like you can buy two different pedals when you get to like that old school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like analog. They have certain like the Hendrix uses a fuzz face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one is germanium, one is silicone. If it heats up a certain way, it responds a certain way. The more cable run it starts buffering. You use batteries, you use power supplies, then you try to get stuff to play with each other the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So you got technology from 1967 trying to work with something from 2004.
Yeah.
Like I didn't been in places where I didn't hit stuff and I didn't got Telemundo
Oh yeah.
in the middle of the show.
Yeah. For sure. So is it like nothing at all? Is it all digital or like
So line six, they do digital modeling. It's just easier for me, especially when I have to do stuff like it's. But I tell people if you get into that, like you at least want to spend time with real amps because basically my goal is with the line six stuff is to make it do the real amp thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which if you know how to do it, it's easy to do it. But I tell people don't just go and buy gear, the most expensive gear. You have to know how to EQ. You got to have like the ears to do it. You got to know certain things. And once you know like the sauce to mix it, it's the same thing with a camera.
is but that's why let me ask you this. Is that subjective though? You know
It's
what
all
I'm saying?
subjective.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? So is it a right answer? You know what I'm saying? Because what might sound good to me, you know what I'm saying? You like, hey, you gotta turn some of that, you know what I'm saying? So
Because inherently you going to sound how you sound. It's part of it is in your hands. Like a lot of it's hands. It's different little nuances. Like I did a record which is dropping next week for this artist, Rennie Saint Laurent.
mm-hmm.
It's dropping next Friday. So like when I do a record, I try to like fit the tone in there. A lot of it for me is reverb and delay and how I want to paint what I paint. And it's different if I'm doing something live versus if I'm doing it in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like playing live is like being an athlete because you have to be able to physically do it in time, right there. You have to be able to react. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to think in motion. When I'm doing session work, I got to think like I'm directing something.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the right part? Where do I layer this at? Where do I pan this at? I'm going to put this in the mix right here. Am I going to switch this tone? What are they doing melodically? So it's more cerebral.
Do you ever get overwhelmed, you know what I'm saying, in the process of like doing all that at once? Because I see some of your work, like I see you on the stage, you know what I'm saying, but then I see you messing with the amp or doing this or doing that. Do you ever get overwhelmed with like everything? Do you ever wish you could just come in and just jam and just leave? Or do you like, you know what I'm saying, being MD?
I like tinkering. So like for me, I know certain projects I don't do, depending on my time, because like I'm obsessive when it comes to certain stuff. Like we're on vacation, so now I'm gonna go in there and go tinker with guitars because I got the time to do it. Like for me, I have certain guitars that are like stage guitars, and it takes a while for them to become. I have to be able to trust it. It's like brakes. So once I bring a new instrument on stage, then it becomes an automatic thing. But you make adjustments based on the room. Like if I'm playing someplace, like if I'm playing at the Red Star, it's a smaller room. I'm gonna make some adjustments. But that volume, probably going to the volume knob to see how much, if I'm not killing everybody. Because there's been a couple of times where like I done got a little overzealous and it's boom. You don't want to be loud. I hate loud. Like when people just are just playing music. Sure. It's just loud. You don't really enjoy it.
Now, does the music director have any job outside of what's going on the stage?
Personnel, you deal with personnel. You have to like think ego wise. I mean, it's the full encompassing job. It's almost like being a coach. Like you have to know personnel, you deal with things, you deal with people. You have to figure out how to logistically make things happen. You have to like know setups.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I know we have like a jazz trio coming in, I got to know what's coming in and how to play it. Like we had a cello was coming in one time. I'm like, okay, you got a cello. Is it a piezo pickup in there, or do we need to mic this?
Mm-hmm.
You just constantly are learning stuff.
Right. And where do you sharpen your sword? Like, have you ever approached a situation when somebody walked in with something, you like, hold on, let me go to YouTube, or you may not have known and you had to do research for moving forward, or do you just try to stay prepared so you don't have to get ready? If that makes sense.
I love what I do, so I'm constantly researching stuff. Like even today, I'm researching delay times.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a sickness. Like the same way like you with the cameras. It's like I'm sitting there like, how do I sync this delay time up right here to where like it's perfect? I'm doing them at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's just sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like the EQing, and that's tough, man. That's an art in itself, man. So another thing you like mentioned, like managing, you know what I'm saying? The different people, you know what I'm saying? Has it ever been unmanageable? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And how do you, as an MD, like how do you, like we here for playing music and y'all can't get along for, you know what I'm saying? Like how do you deal with that?
When it's music, people think they take things personally, right? I've taken things personally. We all without fault. Like I've had band breakups, I've had situations and stuff like that. And sometimes you got to take the ego out of it. Sometimes you got to understand it is a business, and you have to look at what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the nature of the industry, and we all kind of like learn with doing anything. My biggest thing is like I've had my conflictions with people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can be a jerk. Sometimes people have days.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, do you take it personally? What's the argument? And then sometimes you don't have to be in a band to work with everybody. Like sometimes if y'all friends, y'all can be friends. It's just how you leave and how you transition out of it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now, how many bands did you have and you been in?
The current band, we've had a couple of lineup changes and iterations of it. So it comes with the territory.
All right. Now, let me ask you this. You know what I'm saying?
Ask whatever you want to ask.
For whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, bands never stick together. You know what I'm saying? Jackson 5, the Migos, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, the Temptations, they never stick together. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever, you know what I'm saying, feel like it's too much for a band, or is it needed for the type of art that you do?
I have a theory when it comes to why bands don't stick together, because it's like this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only so much creativity output that you can have within a unit. And as people develop, it becomes too much, and it becomes either an explosion or a separation.
Mm-hmm.
So like in most bands that you see are successful that split, for my theory is that, or personal things get into it, and that's usually it's an implosion. It's a natural thing with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at bands, look at the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
They were cool when it was just John and Paul writing. Then George became a good writer. Then Paul started wanting to be a leader, and it becomes that thing.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is when it comes with people, I just kind of, you could be jaded, you could be bitter. My thing is I like to look at the person, because people evolve. Where were they at, and did we have fun?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you decided to do music, did you imagine being successful and being on the trajectory that you're on now? Or did you do it just, you know what I'm saying, as something like fulfilling, you know what I'm saying, something to...
It was a romanticized stuff like any other thing. Like when things happen, they're still very surreal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they happen, I'm like, wow, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy everything that's happened. Like I look at it as like a blessing. Like I would not just think certain things happen. And then there's highs and lows. Like certain things will get you very low, and then you'll look at things happen for a reason. Like even giving a good example. When I came back to the city, I was supposed to do this show at the promontory. And it was probably the worst practice I've ever had as a musician. It was a circus in there. I look up, they got a cameraman. We ain't rehearsing. Nobody know the songs. Like, and it was just a bad experience. And I wanted to like play in South Shore because we don't have, until Urban Luxe, we didn't really have that. So like that was a real disappointment for me.
Yeah, Urban Luxe, I've never been in South Shore. I've been in Chicago my whole life, bro.
There you go. But ironically, opportunity opened up. I got to play that December, which was probably like 6 months later, at Chance's Night at the Museum event in 2023. So I didn't get the promontory, which would have been cool. I got the museum and I got to be on the news that night.
For sure. And on the news several times, you know what I'm saying? So when you do things like that, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to help myself. Let me ask you this. You say it has ups and downs. And the question I always like to ask artists, you know what I'm saying, is do you ever get discouraged, like to the point it was like, I'm going to put the guitar down, I'm going to go to law school, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to go be a lawyer, you know what I'm saying, do this, do that. Do you ever get to that point? And if you do, how do you overcome it?
I have my moments. Like, I'm human. I have my moments, but it's just like, for me, I'm not really a quitter by nature. I just look at things for what they're worth, because like the problems you have right now, they won't really matter 6 months or 7 months, because you're in it. When you're in confusion and chaos, you know, it's hard to see. But most of the things happen, everything happens for a reason. You can't really just sit and dwell on it. You can't, woe is me. I mean, you can feel bad. I give myself a timetable. I'm going to feel bad for 5 minutes. Feel bad for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And you got to start coming up with solutions. Like I was telling somebody, like, what does it really mean? Like, people are going to say stuff about you. Things aren't going to go your way. Bad things happen. It's just a nature of the beast. Somebody told me a long time ago, you're not special. It's like, everything you're going through, somebody going through it now, they went through it. You're not special.
Or worse, bro.
And then another one is like, because we get haters, and the industry, people hate. Like, why you think nobody can hate you? What makes you think you special? You above hate. Like, you gonna get it.
For sure. Now, getting back to, you know what I'm saying, the music, man. What's it like performing in front of a crowd, man? You always on stage. You was on in front of the biggest crowds, in front of, you know what I'm saying, millions of people on the TV screen. So what's it like performing in front of, you know what I'm saying, in front of crowds for you?
If it's going good, it's a blackout. I don't retain anything.
That's first.
It's a blackout. Like, I don't retain it. So if everything is going good and I'm naturally doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm not thinking. Like, I'm strictly responding and I'm just flowing. Everything is just flowing out. When it's bad, that's when you're thinking. And I tell people, if you're thinking about something, you're not going to be able to get to a reaction there. So, like, when things are going good, you're blacking out. You don't really notice. I mean, a lot of times, if I don't see the actual footage of it, I'm like, oh, that happened. So, like, you want to be able to, like, just black out.
Now, it's like playing, is it like singing where you can, like, miss a note? Like, can you miss a string or something? Or, like, and is it like, forget about it and keep going, or is it common? Like, what's
people, when you playing live, like, it's not gonna be pristine like a studio player. When you're standing up, it's the same thing. You keep going. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're gonna play, stuff gonna happen. Like, if you stop, people notice. But most of the time, if you're playing consistently like that, it becomes automatic. It's only when it's something obvious. One of the funniest things that happened to me one time, I remember I had jumped off stage and somebody wanted something. And normally it's a guitar player rule. My god there told me this all my life. When you run the cable in, you don't run the cable in directly like this, because if you step on the cable, it falls out the guitar. I jumped off stage, somebody wanted something. I didn't go up under. I'm playing, I'm going behind my head, and I go middle of the show. So I just reach down, plug it back up, playing behind my head, and just stop playing.
For sure.
If I'd have stopped and been like,
Taking a look for sure, for sure. Real professional, real professional. Now, we talked about the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix. Who's the GOAT? Like as far as the guitar shit go, who the GOAT? Who the best? Other than yourself, of course. You
God,
know what
oh,
I'm saying?
it depends on what you're like talking about, because it's like
Do you have a personal favorite, or you just enjoy
a
all
lot
of
of
them?
guys I like. Like I like Prince is one of them. George Benson is one of them. Hendrix is one of them. Steve Lukather from Toto was one. Like there are a lot of session guys I like that play on records. It, it's like a language. So it's like when people ask me that question, it's like who speaks the best Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
Because each guitar style is its own language. Like if you put a jazz guy in a blues gig, they might not be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
If you put vice versa, it might not be. So like I like everybody for what they does. Like one of my heroes is like Buddy Guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar for sure.
Yeah. Everybody could sinners now, but like I've been a Buddy Guy
Yeah.
person since I was like first started playing.
Ain't you from Chicago?
He's been there. He's from Louisiana, but he's been here since like Muddy Waters.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure. They had like a screening up here for sinners, and he was there. My
yeah.
homie went too. That's dope. That's dope.
Buddy is the most important guy. He's like the bridge from like that actual Delta era
Hmm.
to like Hendrix canceled the gig to see Buddy Guy play.
For sure. That's dope. Now, another question that I also like to ask the artists, you know what I'm saying? Because me, I've been doing this since like the pandemic, so I wasn't familiar with like the underground music scene and singers and artists and podcasts. I wasn't familiar all this existed, you know what I'm saying? So I learn new stuff. I meet new people every day. So what I want to know is, give me your opinion on your peers in the industry that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're out in these events or you're meeting other artists, or like you said at the promos, or you had your worst practice, you know what I'm saying? When you just meet other people, what's the vibes from your peers in the industry that you're in?
I'm pretty solitary. Like only child thing. Like I keep my circle tight. I look at it as a grain of salt. Like people are people. Certain people I like working with. Like I got some people who are like family to me, but I necessarily wouldn't be in a band with them. I got certain people that are I'm close with, people I respect. I have peers that I see they push me to practice. There are people who I just be like, you doing it again?
Mm.
Like, it's the same thing with anything. Like I feel like the scene is cool. I just feel like what I would like to see before I left, I would like to see venues open on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday more.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a thing. Like when I left, like it was a lot more opportunities to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think Urban Luxe is one of the key leading catalysts for people to come and play,
For sure.
which is great to see that consistent, especially on the south side. There are only a couple of people I would say I really don't like,
Mm-hmm.
but even it's not like I got vitriol. It's just like
Mm-hmm. Shit, I got a handful of people I don't like, man, but it be like that. You know what I'm saying?
you don't take it seriously. Like
For sure. Cause you ain't got like everybody. That's how. If you act like you like everybody, that's being fake shit, bro.
yeah, like when people are like overly everybody my friend. Like, everybody ain't your friend.
For sure. For sure. Definitely not out here, man. I got a couple more questions. I'm gonna let you get up out of here, man. What's your favorite part about doing music? If you had to do one thing about doing music all day for a week straight, what would it be? From music directing, from just jamming, from setting up, what would it be?
I have most fun when I'm playing. All the other stuff that comes with it,
Mm.
when you just playing, that's kind of what you get into. But when you become a professional, it's layers to it.
Mhm.
Like that's a really I define professional as like you have to do the media stuff. You have to not this. This is fun.
For
But
sure.
like other the media stuff, you have to move a certain type of way. That little stuff, the nuances of it.
Mm.
Like when you become a professional, it comes with that. But like the actual act of just playing,
Mm.
that's when I'm having fun.
For sure. Now, with everything, you got your left, right, up, down, sad, happy. What's your least favorite part? If you had to take one thing away about what you do about music, what would it be and why?
You become dehumanized to a certain degree. You become an asset. That's my least favorite part of it. in the way I have to sometimes interface with people
Mm.
or not interface with people. That is annoying.
Mm.
I will say
Mm.
people look at you as like a resource instead of being a human being.
Mm.
That's my least favorite part.
For sure. That's first. That's the first. Now, what's the goal? Like, what's the goal? Why you jamming? Why you learning all this stuff? Why you music directing? You know what I'm saying? What's the goal at the end of the day for yourself? If you don't mind sharing.
The biggest goal is I want to see Urban Luxe be a world class venue. That's one.
Mm.
I want to become more elite at what I do. Like this, even on my vacation time, it's just getting meticulously detailed. Like something I've been kind of making it happen of is just studying why things are dominant, looking at things. I'm a big student of the game, so I've been like researching. Okay, even if it's not music, okay, why was Pat Riley a great coach? Or why is this particular brand dominant? Just being the best version of yourself, being dominant, looking for details. Starting a vlog called Guitar Thrifty, which is we're going more like budget based instruments to where we can kind of get instruments in people's hands without having to spend an arm and a leg, and kind of helping people become more aware of stuff like whether it be Amazon guitars and stuff like that. I'm working on a sound design company. Just getting the cafe more up depth in technology and just doing different things. So it's always a goal. And just playing with the band more, booking more, even though like we've been booking a lot. So these like this little 2 weeks has been kind of helping out. So the goal is always to never be satisfied, basically, I would say. Always go here.
For sure. Now, with that being said, as the music director for the cafe, what are some things that you would like to see? You know what I'm saying? I know you mentioned the open Mondays and stuff like that, but what's some other things? It could be musically or equipment wise, or what's some other things that you would like to see change, you know what I'm saying, as a music director up at Urban Luxe?
Well, we got some surprises in that department. We got some surprises as far as like overall quality coming and improving. I've been working on. On the biggest thing I want to see people support the cafe is it been there, consistently support the cafe because we didn't have that. Just give back to the cafe. Like a lot of times we get resources and we just take. Give back like what you do, have an award ceremony acknowledging the cafe. I just want to see people give back. It's black owned business. We're doing stuff in the community. We've been a staple in the community. Just give back, encourage, build the community around the cafe, participate, support Miss D. She does a lot for a lot of people. That's what I really like to see.
For sure. That's dope. That's real righteous, man. Now, another thing I want to ask you, and another question I ask all my artists is, and if you don't mind sharing, what is your support system like? I talk to a lot of artists and creatives, and they be like, their biggest supporters is people that they never met before, or people that they met one time, and now they rock out together at every show. So if you don't mind me asking, what's your support system like?
People I've known before this because they're honest to me and they have a very honest opinion. They're not gonna sugarcoat. Like my goddad is a tremendous support system. Bobby Martin, like he's been there since day one. I remember before I could even afford guitars, I would go to guitar shops and buy a neck and a body, and he would sit there with a solder. We would put together guitars. So he's always honest with me, and he's had the experience. He gonna tell you what it is straight up. And I try to do a lot of things like him. Like he would consistently show me stuff, teach me stuff. My family is always my mom, my dad. Miss D's a great support system because they're bluntly honest. Like they don't blow smoke up my butt. If they feel like I'm doing something wrong, they gonna let me know.
For sure.
I would say another good support system would be people at the cafe, the staff are always, honest. We have a very good family circle there. And then for young artists, I tell people kind of identify who's really your friend and how they sit. I think a lot of artists, and this is no shade to anybody, they sit in relationships that are successful, but they are not happy. That would be my realest thing. Because like I've been in those situations artistically where you're at the top of the world, but you are not happy. Like I tell artists all the time, like, don't be in that situation where like I've been in situations where like I've just they practice and you got that disdain or like you got to know what a toxic relationship is, whether it be in business or music. Like if you are only happy when you're doing something where you guys don't have to audibly communicate besides performance, and you don't like being around people like that, that's not healthy. So you got to identify those things because that's what gets people discouraged because they feel like they have to plug into this thing that's draining them and they keep doing it consistently.
For sure. For sure. This was definitely a dope conversation, man. Before you slide, let's just talk about what you working on right now. I know you're on vacation. I know y'all got some stuff working on that you can't share quite yet, but what you working on? What's coming up? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
We got Luxe Fest coming up third Sunday in July. The blogs, working on new content for the cafe. Just kind of doing some more different events. Possibly maybe a screening of a popular movie might be at the cafe. You know,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
you know,
That's a good one.
gotta get invited in. You know,
That's a good one. That's a good one. We'll talk off camera though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so if you don't mind, just let the people know where they can find you on social media, where they can find the music, where they can work with you, where they can come jam with you, all that good shit.
yeah, you can always go Robert Sykes Music on Instagram. I'm an Instagram guy. I'm not a Facebook guy. Like I can't stand Facebook. The memes.
I'm really not none of them guys, man. I suck at all that shit, bro. I just do that for this, man, bro. I suck at phones, texting. I suck at all of it, bro.
I'm an IG. I like IG because it's like
I'm one of this type of dude, man.
I can set my algorithm. Facebook is like I got like the weirdest thing. I got caught in like an algorithm of like those lucky things where like if you don't like this, you going to hell. I'm like,
Man, that's crazy. That algorithm crazy. I got caught in an algorithm like people that like was paralyzed from the neck down from like skin accidents.
they be like, can I get a like for my? You be like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's how they get you, man.
yeah,
Like, be like some dude with his arm, you know, chopped all of it. Like, can I get one like? Like,
yeah, man, for sure, man. But no, man, I definitely appreciate your time, man. You're always welcome. I definitely love what you guys doing up at the cafe, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially to see, you know what I'm saying, we need to see black men, you know what I'm saying, in our community doing stuff like that you do, man. We need stuff like that as well, you know what I'm saying, on top of the art, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate what you're doing for the community, man. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. In a minute, gang.